You know, my friend, it really is the most peculiar thing about us humans, isn't it? We arrive on this spinning blue marble, take one look around, and immediately decide we're a mistake. Not just a little rough around the edges. No, a full-on manufacturing defect. Something went terribly wrong on the cosmic assembly line, and here we are, rolling out with missing parts, faulty wiring, and a big red sticker screaming, "Recall." So what do? We spend the next 70, 80, 90 years in a frantic state of emergency repair, convinced that if we just find the right tool, the right technique, the right teacher, the right practice, we can finally hammer ourselves into something acceptable, something worthy, something complete. We treat ourselves like the world's most complicated IKEA flat pack that arrived without instructions and half the screws missing. We buy bigger toolkits, we hire experts, we watch tutorials at 2 a.m., we meditate, manifest, microdose, macrodose, biohack, life hack, therapy hack, until we're hacking so hard we forget what we were even trying to build in the first place. And after all that noise, all that sweat, all those vision boards and 5-year plans and gratitude journals and cold plunges and sound baths and ayahuasca retreats, we collapse on the floor, surrounded by Allen keys and half-assembled pieces, and whisper, "I'm still not fixed. When will I finally be okay?" Now, I want you to do something with me. Close your eyes for just a second. Yes, right now. And imagine a mighty oak tree in an ancient forest, hundreds of years old, gnarled, lightning-scarred, branches twisted by centuries of wind, bark cracked and peeling, roots sprawling in every direction like drunk octopus arms. One morning, this oak wakes up in a panic. "Oh no, I'm all wrong. I'm not symmetrical like those perfect little bonsai in the monastery garden. My trunk is too thick here, too thin there. I lose my leaves every winter. Clearly a seasonal depression issue. My acorns fall everywhere with no 5-year plan. I'm a mess. I need therapy. I need a tree coach. I need to enroll in How to Be a More Spiritual Tree online course. If I just work hard enough, I can become a flawless, evergreen, perfectly balanced, enlightened redwood, tall, straight, and preferably made of indestructible spiritual titanium, so no storm ever shakes me again." You're laughing, aren't you? Because it's absurd. The oak is already perfect. It is already doing the only thing an oak is supposed to do: be completely, wildly, unapologetically oak. It doesn't need to become better. It doesn't need to level up. It doesn't hold quarterly reviews with itself about its growth metrics. It simply is. And in its isness, it shelters foxes, feeds jays, holds the soil, breathes for the planet, and stands as one of the most majestic living beings on Earth, without ever once worrying that it's not treeing correctly. Yet here we are, children of the same intelligence that grew that oak, that spins galaxies, that turns caterpillars into painted wings, convinced that we, alone in all of creation, are the universe's one tragic mistake, the only creature that needs a lifetime subscription to self-repair. We've swallowed a story, my friend, a very convincing, very loud, relentless story. It goes like this: you are broken, you are incomplete, you are a problem to be solved, your natural state is wrong, your emotions are malfunctioning, your desires are dangerous, your thoughts are bugs in the code. Your very existence is a rough draft that needs constant editing, updating, optimizing, upgrading. And if you just try hard enough, meditate deeper, journal longer, manifest harder, biohack smarter, therapy harder, one glorious day you'll finally become acceptable, whole, worthy. This story is shouted from every corner of our culture. It's in the ads that tell you're not pretty enough, thin enough, rich enough, calm enough, productive enough. It's in the apps that track your every step and sleep cycle and mood swing. It's in the endless stream of gurus promising that if you just follow their 7-step system, you'll finally arrive. It's in the quiet voice in your head at 3 a.m. that says, "You're behind. Everyone else has figured it out. What's wrong with you?" And we believe it. We believe it so completely that we rarely stop to ask the most dangerous question of all: who sold us this story? And why do we keep buying it, year after year, retreat after retreat, app after app, guru after guru? Let me whisper something that might sound downright heretical to the multi-billion-dollar self-improvement empire. You were never broken. You were never a mistake. You were never a project. The only thing that has ever needed fixing is the belief that you need fixing. You were never the house under renovation. You were always the garden in full bloom, even when you couldn't see the flowers through all the weeds of self-judgment you kept planting. Now, I'm not saying stop learning. I'm not saying stop growing. I'm not saying stop changing. The garden learns too. It learns which way to grow toward the light, how to sink roots deeper, how to weather storms. But it doesn't torture itself about not being tall enough or worry that its bark isn't smooth enough. It simply responds naturally to what life presents. The difference is trust. The garden trusts its own nature. We've learned to mistrust ours. We've been taught that our natural impulses are suspect, that our spontaneous responses are probably wrong, that left to our own devices, we'll surely make a mess of things. So we develop this internal supervisor, this constant monitor that watches everything we do and evaluates it. Am I being productive enough? Am I responding correctly? Am I improving at the proper rate? Shouldn't I be further along by now? It's exhausting, isn't it? Like having a micromanager living inside your head, taking notes on your performance and always finding you lacking. But here's what's really happening. This supervisor, this inner critic, this voice that insists you need constant improvement, it's not actually you. It's a collection of borrowed voices, judgments you absorbed, standards you inherited from parents, teachers, society, culture. You've internalized a whole committee of judges, and now they're running your life, making you feel perpetually inadequate, forever behind schedule in your own existence. But who is hearing these voices? Who is aware of the committee? There's something in you, quiet, vast, unchanging, that watches this whole circus without getting swept away by it. That something is not your thoughts about yourself. It's not your judgments, your goals, your improvement plans. It's the awareness in which all of that arises and passes away, like clouds drifting through an endless sky. The sky is never improved by perfect weather, nor damaged by storms. It simply allows everything to pass through. In exactly the same way, your deepest nature is never improved by becoming better or damaged by your so-called flaws. It simply allows everything to be as it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying stop learning, stop growing, stop changing. The river learns the landscape. The redwood learns the wind. The child learns to walk. But they do it without the story, I am broken and must be fixed. They do it because it's joyful, because it's natural, because the way a flower opens to the sun, not because it hates its closed bud form, but because opening is what flowers do. There are two completely different energies you can bring to growth. One is the energy of rejection. I hate this part of me, I must eradicate it. The other is the energy of curiosity and love. Oh, look at this part of me. How interesting, how human, how alive. What wants to happen here? Whereas the first energy is violence turned inward. The second is love turned outward, and inward too. One exhausts you, the other energizes you. One comes from the belief, I am not enough. The other comes from the recognition, I am already the whole ocean, playing at being this particular wave. And here's the wild, wild paradox that makes the inner committee scream. When you finally stop the war against yourself, when you lay down the weapons of self-criticism and improvement anxiety, the most astonishing things start to happen naturally, effortlessly, joyfully. The habits you've been battling for years begin to shift on their own. The emotions you've been trying to fix suddenly lose their grip. The parts of you you've been ashamed of start to relax and reveal their hidden gifts. It's like finally stopping trying to push the river and discovering, to your utter amazement, that the river was always flowing exactly where it needed to go. This isn't laziness. This isn't complacency. This is trust. Radical, wild, life-changing trust in the intelligence that grew you from a single cell, that beats your heart 60,000 times a day without you ever thinking about it, that heals your cuts while you sleep, that dreams your dreams at night, that knows how to breathe you even when you're fast asleep. Do you really believe that same intelligence suddenly stopped working when it came to your personality, your emotions, your life path? that it needs your frantic supervision, your 5-year plans, your vision boards, your morning routines, your constant self-monitoring to get it right? Of course not. That's like a wave trying to manage the ocean. So here's my invitation to you. An experiment, nothing more. Just for one day, one single day. What if you stopped? What if you woke up tomorrow and declared a moratorium on self-improvement? No fixing, no judging, no evaluating, no working on yourself. Just this. Being alive exactly as you are, in this body, on this day, with these emotions, these thoughts, these circumstances. What if you met everything? Boredom, joy, anger, lust, sadness, excitement, with the way you'd meet weather. Not as problems to solve, but as visitors passing through. Ah, rain today. Interesting. Ah, sunshine. Lovely. No story that the rain is wrong, that the sunshine should stay forever. What if you treated your mind like the sky and your feelings like clouds, watching them move, change, dissolve, without needing to redecorate the heavens? What if you move through your day like a child again, like someone who has forgotten they're supposed to be fixing themselves and suddenly remembers they're here to play? You might feel a little lost at first. The inner committee will scream, "This is irresponsible. You'll fall apart." But keep going. Watch what happens when the foreman finally takes a day off. You might discover something quite scandalous. The construction site was always a playground. The caution tape was made of smoke. The scaffolding was built out of borrowed opinions. And underneath it all, the most beautiful structure was already standing, quiet, alive, breathing, waiting for you to come home. You were never a house under renovation. You were always a garden in full bloom, even when you couldn't see the flowers through all the weeds of self-judgment you kept planting. Stop weeding yourself to death. Lie down in the grass for a moment. Feel the earth holding you. Listen to the wind moving through your leaves. You are already, right now, the thing you've been trying to become. The wave doesn't need to try to be the ocean. The wave is the ocean waving. And you, beautiful, messy, perfect you, are life living. Let it live. Let yourself live. The music is already playing. Stop rehearsing the dance. Just dance.